I don't know about you, but this time is amazing. That's what I'm experiencing. It's an absolutely amazing time. Now, it's not just because I'm living in Kauai, Hawaii. You can see this is one of my favorite places in my neighborhood here in Kauai. And it is breathtakingly beautiful and healing to live in this place. But let me just tell you, I've been talking to a lot of people in the last week. A lot of stuff is coming up for people, a lot of intensity. I call it the intensity of density, the density intensity, because walking on this earth, it is a place where it's dense at times, very, very dense. The energy feels dense, it feels thick, it feels like we're trying to trudge through peanut butter in our life, right? Doesn't it feel really, really difficult sometimes? And sometimes it feels like our experience of negativity and pain and suffering is really sticky. I call it icky sticky. And it's not fun. It's nothing to laugh about, really. I know so much about it. That's why I'm laughing. And it's because I'm not interested in crying about it anymore. I'm interested in transforming it. That's what really works for me. So if you're feeling the intensity of density right now, just know that you are not alone, not by a long shot. And there is amazing, miraculous healing that you can invoke in each and every moment. So the key to your healing and your transformation is your willingness to connect with your higher Holy Spirit self. That's the thing that's going to transform everything for you. So when it feels really, really dense or it feels really intense, know this: you can work in the invisible world rather than trying to push density and work in the world of form. Working in the world of form is extremely laborious, and that's why it feels so hard. We're not meant to do it. We're light beings, so we're meant to work in our mind, in the heart that's in the mind, and to work vibrationally and with our thoughts. But sometimes we forget that, and we get caught up in the density, and we start thinking that the world is happening to us rather than by us or through us. So we can have a deep and profound transformation if we're willing to work at the level of the mind. And that's what I call working in the invisible. This is the focus of all my classes. And particularly right now, I'm focused on my year-long Masterful Living class. In this moment right now, I've been talking with a number of students who are finishing up the 2015 year, and we're getting ready to start the 2016 year. So I'm talking with students who want to continue the work and students who have had a myriad of experiences this year in class with me, because each person's experience is unique to them. We all start with different levels of willingness and different levels of understanding, resistance, reluctance, and it all comes into play in the group with the class. Now, one of the things that lights me up every year, of course, is when people say, at the beginning of 2015, I started and I felt really stuck, I felt really hopeless and helpless, I felt extremely resistant and reluctant, and many people tell me that when they started Masterful Living, one of the strong things they felt was they'd been studying spirituality for a number of years, and they had a really strong intellectual grasp of it, but in their heart, they were still holding on to lots of resentments, lots of regrets. Even A Course in Miracles students who have been studying about forgiveness and A Course in Miracles for decades will find that they still are struggling just to forgive the most basic things. And they're still regurgitating the past in so many different ways, repeating the same negative patterns over and over again. Well, right now, whether you're interested in taking Masterful Living with me or doing the deeper work with me, you can start doing that deeper work right where you are. So here's some tips for you that we use in our year-long Masterful Living class. Number one, give it up. Turn it over to the Holy Spirit, the higher Holy Spirit self, the great I Am presence. Do not try to figure things out. If you're struggling to try to figure out how to best do something, if you're trying to figure out what not to do and what to do and wondering how to make things happen, then you are strongly identified with the ego. And your higher Holy Spirit self, the Holy Spirit, knows the answer. The I Am will lead you and guide you if you're willing to be in that relationship. Imagine that you are in a relationship with a being that can see through all directions of time and space, that knows exactly why everything is happening, that knows exactly how to unlock the good that's encoded into every single moment of your life. A being that knows how to call forth, accept, and receive and allow every blessing that's there for you. This higher Holy Spirit self is your true identity, and it's always available for you. That's what asking it is given means. But if what you're trying to do is ask for help to get the things you think will make you happy, that ain't it, kid. That's not going to work. No way. Because the things of this world do not make us happy. So trying to get stuff to make us happy is never going to work. And that's why the intensity of density is so strong right now. Because those patterns of trying to make things happen and manifest things to make us happy, the way that some people use that teaching in the secret, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work, right? It doesn't work. So let's not just keep trying to manifest stuff. It doesn't work. That's not going to make us happy. The thing for us is to really open our hearts and minds to the highest possibility of love. Love is the only thing that's going to fulfill us. And there's so much healing and transformation that's available to us. So here's my invitation to you. My year-long Masterful Living class is a profound pathway for people who are interested in doing the work and really doing the work and getting down to business. It's for people who feel helpless and hopeless, as well as people who feel like they've been studying this for years and years and years and have a great intellectual understanding and are now ready to bust a move with their heart and really have a deep connection with God and to have a spiritual practice that they're excited to practice every day because it really works for them. The transformation is happening for them. All this is available to you, and you can bring it forth for yourself in my year-long Masterful Living class or on your own. But if you're interested in finding out whether or not my year-long class might be right for you, I'm inviting you to register for my class. This week it's called 2016 Your Path of Healing and Spiritual Expansion. And we're going to have a conversation with people who are in Masterful Living class with me who've been doing this work, so you can hear from a group of people who are working at all their own personal levels and what it's really like for them. The thing that's wonderful is you can make such a difference in just 1 year. It's amazing. That's the conversation I love to have at this time of the year with people who've been in class with me all year. Because when they start, they really don't know what's possible for them. And they're a bit scared sometimes and trepidatious. But by the end of the year, if they've been doing the work, what they find is, oh my God, I really proved it to myself. I can live a miraculous life. I can have amazing healing in my family, in my workplace, in my career, in my body, in my heart, in my mind. It can really work for me. And because of that, they're excited to see what else they can do. Now they're experiencing and feeling that unlimited potential. This is available to everyone. It's not just for Masterful Living students, but the thing that's the key is practice, practice, practice. And being in the container of a year-long class, people don't give up. You know, because that's the thing that happens is I used to take classes for a month or 6 weeks, and I would do stuff during that class, but then when the class was over, I'd forget about it. I didn't keep up my practices. And now I'm excited to practice every day. It's wonderful. It's miraculous. And for many years now, I've been feeling that incredible, steady progress. One of the great things for you to know to really know in your heart is that everyone has the potential to reach a tipping point where it gets a whole lot easier. If you're willing to do the regular spiritual practice day in and day out, or even just more progressively, a little bit more each day, each week, each month, you will discover that spiritual practice saves time in ways that are unbelievable. You just eliminate so much suffering by deepening your spiritual practice. And it's not easy. It's not easy. So if it feels really hard to you, it doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It just means you're pretty normal. So give yourself a break and at least commit to having a regular spiritual practice in 2016 and finding a way to have a group of like-minded people to practice with, because it gets so much easier if you do. I'm really encouraging you to go for it next year, because the intensity of density, what it really is just telling you your stuff is up for healing, your stuff is up for healing, your stuff is up for healing. And when it's up for healing, make the most of that moment and say, I claim my healing, I accept my healing, I am in a healing modality right now. And the simplest way to practice it is really to partner up with your higher self, to have prayer practices and have practices that make you inspired to say, oh, I'm so grateful I can practice patience right now. I'm so grateful I can practice gratitude right now. I'm so grateful I'm not alone right now. And we begin to really live as our higher self. This is our potential. This is our destiny. We're claiming it. And I'm inviting you to check out my Masterful Living course and see if it's right for you. Of course, you can do it on your own. I did so much of this work on my own, but you don't have to if you don't want to. If you'd like support and you'd like to grow and learn and laugh and cry with a group of like-minded people from all over the world, check out my year-long Masterful Living class and come this Thursday to my class where we're going to talk to the Masterful Living students themselves and really see what they have to say about doing this work in Masterful Living. Thanks for taking the time to listen to this video, and thanks for taking the time to give yourself a break and know that the intensity of density is calling you to wake up. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It's our wake-up call.